Chapter 3, Working Together. The next few weeks were busy. Every day after school, Bad Egg, Good Egg, and Scrambled Egg worked on building Humpty Dumpty's wheelchair. When Big Egg came home from work, he pitched in too. Other little eggs from around the neighborhood came by to watch, and they too were quickly conscripted into looking for the wheels or the armrests, or they were put to work painting. Egghead came by to give advice. "Make sure everything is even," he said repeatedly, so they would measure and remeasure. They didn't want another fall for Humpty. Easter Egg showed up on a Sunday afternoon with pies and cakes that folks had brought to the Easter basket that morning. He gave all the industrial little eggs a pep talk and told them that he was proud of them. He said, "There's nothing better to do than to help another in need." Everyone glowed because it's always extra nice to feel appreciated. Precious worked at the sewing machine making a well-padded cushion. It had a fluffy back and a rounded seat. Across the back she embroidered Humpty Dumpty in red letters. The best part was imagining Humpty's face when he saw the chair and his name on the cushion. Finally, the wheelchair was complete. Bad Egg got to test it out. He sat in it while Good Egg pushed him around. To make sure it was good and solid, Good Egg ran over the rockiest and most uneven paths in the neighborhood. It worked just great. Their last touch was to polish up an old bike helmet for Humpty, just in case there was an accident. So many eggs had worked on the wheelchair that when it was time to go deliver it to Humpty's nest, they all wanted to go along to see his reaction. Their trek over to his house had Bad Egg pushing the beautiful, brightly painted new chair with the helmet sitting on Precious's newly made cushion in the seat. Precious and Good Egg walked hand in hand behind Bad Egg. Then came Scrambled Egg, walking with Big Egg. Behind them, a dozen little eggs walked, ran, skipped, rollerbladed, bicycled, and skateboarded in a jubilant parade. Everyone laughed and joked in anticipation of presenting their fabulous chair to Humpty. Precious cleared a path into the nest so that Bad Egg could push the chair over to Humpty Dumpty's bed. He glowed and shrieked with excitement. He could not believe what his friends had made for him. His eyes were even a little misty. Precious and Big Ed carefully lifted Humpty into the new wheelchair, and it was then that he spotted his name on the cushion. With a big smile, he looked up at Precious. He did not need to say a word. She knew how grateful he was just by the look in his eyes. Precious smiled back. You know how it is when you just know how people feel, don't you? Sitting up in his chair, a secure seatbelt fastened around him, and with his brightly polished helmet sitting on his head, Humpty was ready for his first ride. Remember, it had been a long time since Humpty had left his bed, and for all that time, he had never left the nest. Outside into the sunshine, Bad Egg pushed Humpty Dumpty. All the other eggs cheered with excitement, but Precious knew that for Humpty, it was a very profound and special moment. He looked up at the sun and the clouds and the sky. He looked at the beautiful green trees, the grass and the flowers. He said nothing for a long, long time. Then he just looked at everyone and said, "Thank you." It was the most